Now there is fresh 2019 Cyberpunk gameplay which has been shown to a select group of influencers. I personally reached out to CD Projekt Red. I said, guys, I've got over 700 views on my last video. I tweeted something once which got liked by 4 different people. Can I, as an influencer, get access to a prestigious event? Now, they didn't get back to me because I think they're just very busy, but there are some people who did go, and one of them is none other than James Davenport, who works for PC Gamer. So let's read what he has to say about this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I am Montoya. Fresh 2019 gameplay from Cyberpunk. Not what we saw in the trailer and not last year's demo. This is a fresh demo showing a lot more of the gameplay mechanics in it. Now, this was a closed hands-off demo, meaning the people attending could not play it themselves, it's simply to watch someone else play. And let's take a look at what James Davenport says. He releases a wealth of information here. Us normies will have to wait until PAX, I believe, to see what these guys saw, unless it leaks early. Fingers crossed, I'm hoping that does happen. So what they got to see was a 50-minute hands-off demo, and it begins with your character V looking in the mirror. Keanu Reeves' character Johnny Silverhand leans on a nearby wall. Now, something to note if you paid attention during the trailer, when you see Keanu Reeves' character Johnny Silverhand show up, see his glitch? See how he's glitching there? That is because he's not physically there, as explained a bit further on. So besides getting to choose your hand, some facial features, you also get to choose whether you want to be a street kid, nomad, or corporate. I have not played any of the Cyberpunk board games or other games they have out there, so I'm not really sure about this, but corporate sounds kind of cool. Did you get a suit and tie and do a John Wick type thing? Let me know if any of you guys have experience in Cyberpunk. What are you choosing and why, or which way should I go? So far I'm leaning corporate. I don't know why, it just sounds cool. And we go on. So you see here that after you finish making yourself, Silverhand comments, come on, you really think they give a rat's dick about how you look? Reeves has a surprisingly important role in the greater story. He's a hallucination, sort of the byproduct of a faulty chip in V's head. Central to the mystery why we're still fairly hazy on. Interesting. Okay, that is very cool to know. So you start off in Pacific District of Night City. It was designed to be a luxurious resort town, replete with lavish hotels, but the shaky economy scared away investors, and now it's all fallen down into disrepair and taken over by gangs. So setting up the settings for you very nicely. Now the one gang are the Voodoo Boys, and the other gang are called the Animals. The story goes on. We're going to skip down to the actual description of what this actual mission was. Now, there was a stealth run. There are different ways, as I mentioned before, of handling or tackling any kind of situation. You can go in guns blazing, as we saw in the recent trailer. They came out shooting, one guy gets killed. Or you can do things stealthily. So your actions, the way you decide to take actions in this game, can affect the storyline itself. I have no doubt that the story can diverge at parts and come together in other parts. This will obviously make it very accessible to different playthroughs and different play styles, leading to different storylines, possibly. So the replayability aspect of this excites me already. I love the fact that you can go in and just play a stealth run or play through a no-kill run even. As is mentioned later in this article, you can actually go through the entire game without killing anyone, including the bosses. Fascinating. Loving it already. So during the stealth run, you come back, cameras off, you hack a soda machine to spit out cans to distract guards. Amazing. 2 particular hack standouts. An animal gang member is boxing with a training robot. Now we see this in the trailer from last year. The guy's working out at the gym with a training robot. You hack that training robot to increase the difficulty so the bot clocks him out, knocks him out. Great. That is great. Another animal is training on a bench press and everything's connected to the network. You can hack the bench press and you crush him with the bar. That is amazing. Let's go on to where the heavily spec'd one here is. The demo takes a turn as the dev spec to a female V, heavily spec'd out into strength and decked out with super strong cyborg arms. We're going to infiltrate them all again, but not so quietly this time. It's all about when we get to look at the perk tree separate from the skill point system. As you play and level up, you'll be able to put experience points to perks that open up new abilities and buff existing stats into 12 branches. All right, now this is where it gets interesting. What are these 12 branches? Handguns, rifles, blades, hacking shotguns, two-handed combat. Is that a katana? I'm for that. assassination, cold blood, sniper rifles, engineering, melee, athletic. Ah, man, that's too much. I don't know where I'm going to go. At first, okay, I want to go handguns, but then I definitely want to try two-handed, and I definitely want to try sniper rifles. This is going to be a tough one to figure out. Jacked V gets spotted early on by unarmed animal. The big gun's arms come out and a fist fight ensues. Punches are loud and crunchy. V makes a quick work of the guy and wakes up two nearby animals, one of which is armed with a knife. V picks up a bottle, which broke during the first fight, stabs the guy to death. Again, nothing is particularly novel how it plays out, but the realistic audio and detailed character model, full animations, and blood spatter make the violence sting more than other games functional with identical melee combat. For the squeamish, you can finish the entire game without killing anyone. Amazing. There's going to be so many different playthroughs in this. And you know what? Game of the Year 2020, definitely without a doubt. So, interestingly enough, as the story continues here, we see that because you've chosen strength here, certain mission areas can open up differently, such as being able to force open a door, because when you are a hacker, you could not do that. And this gives you a shortcut to the final boss. He goes on to say how you grab a minigun and you just wreck everything from up there. And he goes again between Hacker V and Strong V a couple more times, culminating in a disappointingly conventional boss fight. All right, fair enough. Listen, boss fights are boss fights. There's only so much unique stuff you can actually put into a game, and that's fine. But look, as long as the story is compelling, I'm okay with it. The local animal gang leader is decked out with strength-enhancing tech. She wields a big hammer, yes, but her metal muscles are easily disabled, shooting the massive purple spot on her back. Okay, I mean, it's a boss battle. The writer goes on to talk about more details of the game and all of it in very, very high praise, but his closing paragraph, I think, sums it up nicely. Or rather, the final two paragraphs. Stripped of the mythic quality of its seemingly eternal development, Cyberpunk 2077 does not present like a revolution in game design. Fair enough, it does look pretty though. And I don't think that's CD Projekt Red goal. It presents an RPG with ambitious scope, playstyle variability, and a distinct dedication to realizing a cyberpunk setting. Now, here's the important thing though. Right from the start, because you get to design your own character, that for me personally is so important in an RPG game. Now, I spoke in the previous video about Star Wars Fallen Order, and great, it's fine, but one of the things lacking in the beginning is they're sticking you into the character. The Jedi's already made up, you're playing him. There's no choice about it. I find there's so much more emotional investment in a game if you get to create the character the way you want to. So being able to make your own V makes a world of difference in this. I left the demo feeling like I'd played the game many times like this before, just never with such a striking attention to detail. The combat looks great, Night City is grim and gorgeous open world, the RPG systems are deep and varied, and Keanu Reeves isn't just some goofy side quest NPC, he'll harass you for a good part of the journey. Ah, bless his soul. The only thing we need to know now is whether all the time and the money put into developing such a detailed, fully featured RPG will actually prop up an interesting story with meaningful character choices. Very true. Look, that's good critique. Will the story be good? But what we've seen so far, for me, that's already a compelling story. Already, just from the demo and the trailer, they've captured me with that. So I have no doubt they'll pull it off. And we'll need to play the whole game to figure that out. Look, yeah, absolutely. So I think the author is just playing it safe. But I have no doubt. I mean, I'll confess that Witcher 3, I have never actually finished. It just never captured me. I started the game 3 or 4 times from scratch and never actually finished the game. But Cyberpunk, I know, this is more my style. The more Cyberpunk and the tech theme of this is more my style, so I'm definitely excited for that. So let me know, you guys who have any kind of experience with Cyberpunk in the past. What kind of character will you be going for? Are you going to choose the street kid, the nomad, or the corporate, and why? Give me your thoughts below. As always, if you enjoy this content, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.